Good afternoon. Welcome to day 5 of the 10-day handshake challenge. So today we are going to discuss researching companies and how to follow companies in your handshake profile. Over the last few days, we have been taking small steps to help us get set up for our future career and really setting up our handshake profile. Each day we do an action item, and we also have a value added item as a little extra that you can take away. So because we are on day 5, I thought I'd do a quick recap and I just share with you, especially if you're watching this recording, what we have done over the last 5 days to get you ready to start engaging with employers and applying to positions through Handshake. Day 1 was really the easiest step, where we activated our profile and got the value added tip to make our profile public, so that we can get messages and send messages to employers and other peers, students at other universities across the country. On day 2, we uploaded our CV and our resume into our profile to help us quickly complete that profile, because what it does is when you upload that document, it pulls the information into the Handshake various categories and automatically populates those fields for you. It saves you a ton of time. And in addition to that value added item, on day 2, we had 3 formatting tips for your CV. On day 3, we added our career interests. So things like our location preferences, knowing that we can always make these changes as we move through pharmacy school, because my preferences may be different during the school year than they are during the summer months, and certainly they'll be different than what it will look like when I graduate, right? So those location preferences, the number of hours that you are completing or wanting to complete, you can make that adjustment and that selection. The specific industries that you're interested in, or the type of roles, because we'll receive more accurate job notifications and more relevant messages from employers when employers are doing the searches when we have our career interests complete. In addition, we assess some work motivations that we want to be aware of as we make decisions about our career moving forward. On day 4, we added additional experiences. So my philosophy is that you do not have to be paid to have great experiences. These experiences could come by way of volunteer opportunities, student organizations, other co-curricular activities where maybe you're involved with the community, and really the thing to focus on here is the skills that you're developing. If you're developing skills that are going to be relevant to what you want to do and related to your career interests, then you should be adding those experiences into your handshake profile. During our added value tip for day 4, we looked at how to write an effective impact statement, and we used a specific formula to write that bullet point so that you're showing your contributions and your skills rather than just the task that you did. And today, on day 5, we are going to research companies, and our action item is to follow up with 5 companies in Handshake. Okay, so with those 5 employers that we're asking you to follow, what you'll do is you'll get into your Handshake profile, and you're going to just explore different organizations and companies that are already have an affiliation with Handshake. And the benefit here is that employers, recruiters, they're probably going to tap into those students who are already following their company, because there is an established affinity that you already have suggested to that employer by following them. So if I'm a recruiter, I'm definitely going to tap into those who are following me and search the skills and the experiences of those students first before I start going into external sources, because of that shared affinity. When you click into your profile in Handshake, the best thing for you to do is select employers in this activity bar at the top of your screen. What will immediately pop up for you are the employers that you are already following. So things are going to be tracked and logged for you very nicely in your Handshake profile. And then in this left hand toolbar here you'll be able to make any filter adjustments so that you can search companies and follow accordingly. You can search by a keyword, by a location. You can search based upon the employer size. So again, if your motivations and kind of your preferences of team dynamics and just the size of the team perhaps is a little bit smaller as an example, you may choose an employer that has less employees. And so that's smaller in size. You can make those determinations for yourself and do a search and a filter based upon that. You can also search by industry, healthcare, biotech, pharmaceutical industry. You can make those selections of which industries you are interested in and which companies you want to follow. So our value added item today is to really think through all the different times that you'll need to research companies. Most frequently, students, job seekers search a company at the time of an interview. That's when really the research for most individuals occurs. And while that is the case, you do need to research a company before you go in for an interview and be very familiar with their services and various departments that you are would potentially be interacting with in that role. It's also incredibly important for you to research a company just during the time of exploration. So when you are deciding what type of work environment is going to be the best fit for you, when you're deciding which industry you want to work in, what size of company, what's that company culture look like, that is all part of your self-exploration and matching it to potential companies. So really a lot of research occurs during the exploration phase of your career development. So you can use Handshake through that process by searching which companies actually fall within a particular industry of interest. You can also do a lot of research right before you submit an application, particularly when you are preparing to write your cover letter or a letter of intent. You have to have very specific information of what you want to share with an employer and make it relevant to them. So research is critical at the time of application as well as in the interview. Things that you might research, you're going to be researching the company mission statement, their value statements. So if you are reading within their value statements that they really value a lot of ingenuity, creativity in their employees, this is something that will tell you that you need to place some focus on how you have been innovative in your past work experiences, your pharmacy experiences, how you've come up maybe with an innovative solution, problem solved. And that will properly prepare you to either write your application or express that in an interview. And now what you're doing is you're aligning yourself to that company. When you are very aware of their mission, their values, another great way to keep up on company research is just to go to the company website and look at their press releases. Press releases also occur oftentimes on LinkedIn, so that's a great resource to use in your company research. Going to the company website and researching other departments, really finding out not only what the role is, but what other departments would this potential position that I'm applying to interact with. So these cross-functional areas that you may have some working relationship with. It's very important to be aware and research those other departments as well as the department that you would be in. And team research. So I think of this as a funnel, right? You're doing a company research, then you're researching the role in the department, and then you're researching the very specific team that you would be on. And all of this is great information, again, at the company website. There's places like Glassdoor where you can go and read reviews on companies, on specific job roles, titles, and in Handshake, you can see this too, where other peers across the country are giving reviews based upon their interviews and also just based upon their experience at the company at an internship that they've previously held. So I wanted to jump into a quick demo and show you how to do an employer search, either if you are specifically looking for a company as maybe a preparation for an interview, or that you have been considering applying towards. I also want to do a demo on how to do employer search based on industry. So this would be more around that exploration. I maybe am interested in that pharmaceutical industry, and I want to see what companies are already in Handshake that I could research a little bit further and potentially follow. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to change up my view here and take it off of the slides to get into, let's see. It may take me just one moment. So that I'm into a different view. Okay, so right now I'm into my Handshake profile, and I'm back at that prior screen I showed you where it shows the employers that I'm already following. Here is the employer tab that I would select, and then here are my filters. If I'm specifically targeting a company, maybe I have already applied and I am looking for Merck in the pharmaceutical industry, I can now search which employers fall under that keyword search, and now I have found my employer that I will be interviewing with, Merck and Company. So I can click on that company and read about Merck. I can look at some of the various branding pictures that they have uploaded, employee perspectives, and a summary of Merck, as well as some questions and answers. They'll also show me those students who've made their profile public who have worked here. So I can do a specific search around this for pharmacy students, maybe who have already done an internship. I could also just scroll back up to that top and follow and become aware of updates that Merck is sharing. If I am doing, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to clear my filter search, and I'm perhaps more in that exploration phase of knowing that I'm interested in learning more about pharmaceutical industry, but I have no idea what companies are within that industry, and I would like to research that a little bit more. You can use Handshake and scroll down, select industry, and type pharma. And pharmaceuticals will pop up, and now I can see those employers. So I'm looking at various companies that are already within Handshake. Looks like Pfizer, Remedy, Neva Analytics, there's Merck, there's Allergan. So a number of companies here that I can look now and look further into the reviews. And that's how you would become aware of some of the companies within industries located within Handshake. Okay, I'm gonna make a transition again and get back to my slides. So someday is not a day of the week. This is really the whole point of the 10-day Handshake challenge, is that we don't want to put it off. I encourage you just to take 2 extra minutes after our time together right now, go into your Handshake profile and complete that action item of selecting 5 companies to follow in Handshake. I appreciate you joining today, and I will see you tomorrow at noon for day 6 of our 10-day Handshake challenge. Take care. Bye.